All right. So for this week's discussion, we had two questions. The first one is how much time is given to different aspects of our life outside of the program? And the second one is how are we planning to set time aside for the program? Personally, I am currently working 2 to 3 hours a day, almost every day. I work out 5 to 6 days a week, and I try to organize my free time to have a good balance between resting and completing responsibilities. I began talking to my friends and family about the program literally years before it started. So I warned them that they will not hear from me for 2 years. So social life is not really a problem right now. And I will stop working almost completely once the clinical practices start, limited to 2 to 3 hours of work per week and only on Sundays. And I'll probably still work out, but only during the weekends as well. And I'm mentalizing myself to think that I won't have any free time, but if I do find some, I'll take advantage of it. And it does help to think that this is only temporary and it's an amazing opportunity for a better life. So that's my plan. And now we're going to hear yours, Jessica.
Okay, so it's been still a struggle for me to not find time because there's always time, but um my struggles with my family side of creating those boundaries and saying no. I'm not a really no person. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll help. But it's gotten a lot better of saying like I can't today, and being okay with that. I also put in my 2 weeks a couple weeks ago, so I'm not at Starbucks anymore, just creating the time to focus on the school aspect because I am a procrastinator and I definitely have to make this a priority and get things done. So that's another thing, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I can relate to the no part because it's so hard, especially when friends they invite you to do stuff, and like it's almost like a reaction saying, "Oh yeah, for sure," but then you get home, you think about it, and you text them, "Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna be able to make it," and then you cancel. But yeah, I think it's a good practice just to prioritize and just yeah think about it that it's only temporary, and it's
Yeah.
good that you're making time for it by are you going to stop working completely?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
stopped completely. I did pick up DoorDash though. I did dash like 2 hours
yeah, I'm
today.
doing DoorDash. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's some money. Like I just feel good like
Yeah,
making some money
yeah,
from it.
yeah, it's nice because it's flexible, but still
Totally.
I'll probably just do it on weekends if any,
Yeah.
because I also want to dedicate as much time as needed. All right, any comments? No. All right, we're going with Elizabeth.
So I'm still working, not as much as I was before. I do plan on cutting back my hours. I don't know how much, but I won't work maybe like you guys said, maybe just a couple hours a day. I kind of create my own schedule with work. Um, and then I do sports, but I stopped that because it took a lot of my time. Um, Other than that, I don't really have much besides my social life. I kind of told my friends that I wasn't going to be going out and going on trips as much as I would like to. But like you said, it's only temporary, so it's all worth it in the end.
Yeah, and I do think it will be worth it. And honestly, I remember that in the orientation, there were a couple of people that said that they were almost done with the program and they kept a full-time job during the program. I think that's insane, but it actually made me feel better. I'm like, okay, if they can do that, then me that I'm not planning to work, then it should be fine. So yeah, I think you'll be fine. And if not, we'll see. We will judge how heavy it is, how much time it takes.
Yeah, and if it's too much, then I'll just stop working. But for now, I'm gonna not work as much, but still try to work a little bit.
Yeah, you're going to try it out first. Yeah, I think that's
Hmm.
good. Yeah. Any comments? All right, we're going with Rocio next.
Okay, well, my biggest thing I think would be trying to find time for everything, because I'm usually like, okay, like get home from school and then I'll try to study. But I think I just need to set a time, kind of like, okay, from this time, I'll give myself 3 hours to study, an hour for a break, and then another 2 hours to study. I feel like that's what's going to be the best for me. I tried that this week, and that kind of worked out really well for me, I saw. I also quit my job. Last Thursday was like my last day, and I was sad, but I was okay. I have to focus on school. But I'm really thankful for my parents and my friends. They, like a lot of people said, like I've prepared my friends and told them, okay, I'm not going to be seeing you that often. I have major FOMO, so I'm probably gonna have to block them or like not go on social media because I see it and I'm like, okay, I should probably go out. Like right now, I hear them. They're in my living room and they're all talking and they're planning a trip to Hawaii next week. And I'm like, oh, you couldn't wait while I had a week. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to deal with it and just I think I'm gonna have to delete my Instagram because I think that's gonna be the hardest thing for me, just FOMO. But I mean, once I sit down and I plan my schedule, I am pretty good. I'm pretty solid. Like, okay, two hours to do everything, hour for a break, and then another 2 hours studying. So I think it's gonna be good. I think
Yeah, I think organization, that's something that we're all going to be practicing because we don't really know how it's going to be and it's going to affect each one of us differently. But like you said, I mean, we're making sacrifices, like you quitting your job or not going to that one trip, but I think you are going to thank yourself in the future so much. And we can see it as sacrifices or we can see it as an investment also, because the time that we put in right now is going to be rewarded later. So I think it's worth it.
yeah, I definitely think like 2 years, it's nothing compared to the rest of our lives after this. So
Exactly.
yeah, not too bad.
I agree. Yes. Any comments?
I agree with the FOMO aspect. I totally get that. I think on the settings of your iPhone, like I had to limit myself screen time, like they have a screen time option. And so I had to limit myself how much I'm on like Instagram and stuff. So I don't know. I might end up deleting it too, but I totally get the FOMO aspect. Totally.
Yeah, and it's hard to balance it out because I also like I was trying the tip that the professor gave us about studying for 25 minutes and then taking a 5-minute break. But then I will go on TikTok or Instagram and 5 minutes will turn into 10. And then it was hard to go back to studying. And then like as soon as I woke up, I will want to put something on YouTube. And when I'm eating, I like to watch something on Netflix. And I was like, okay, I'm beginning to be way too dependent on the screen. So yeah. All right, now we go with Haiti. Heidi?
Sorry, my internet is acting
Or
up.
maybe Stefan.
I'm sorry, my internet
Oh, no.
is my internet acting up.
Okay, now you're good.
I think it's acting up. Or am I acting up?
A
Okay.
little bit, but I think
Sorry.
it's coming back.
Where do I start? I should hurry up then. Is it fine now? It was totally fine earlier.
Yeah, I hear you okay now.
Okay. So right now I have two jobs. I have a full-time and a part-time. Obviously, I'm gonna let my full-time go. I'm actually gonna put my 2 weeks next week. So without that, I'm gonna have a lot more free time, obviously. And then for my part-time, I can choose to work once a week, but obviously an 8-hour shift. But I'm planning to do that only on Saturdays. And that's mainly it for me. And obviously my friends, I mean, I got lucky enough that all my friends are emotional. They're very emotional. So every time I say no, I hear about it for a week. So I might have to block them too, and that's gonna backfire, but it's okay. Because all my close friends work with me with my full time, so they plan every day. And obviously I can't do that. And I always get it, it backfires. But anyway, I don't care anymore. They can do whatever they want. But I'm gonna block them for sure. And then I'm gonna let my full-time job go. So I think I'll that's all my problem was, like, time, because I've been so busy. But now, and my part-time, I used to work at least 3 days a week also. So now I'm cutting it down to just one, then plus letting my full-time go. So I think I'll be fine. Yeah, it's just that full-time job that it's really like basically because my full-time is like 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. So all my time literally goes there. So since I'm taking that off, so I think I should be fine.
Yeah, definitely. I think you're going to feel a lot lighter on time, dropping a full-time job and going from working 3 days a week on the part-time to only one. So if you're used to that kind of level of activity, I think you're gonna do fine. And if not, also cut that loose. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think for friends and family, it does help a lot to communicate, just to let them know, hey, so I'm gonna be starting this program and I'll be really busy. I'll try to keep in touch, but honestly, let's start making plans again on 2025.
Yeah. Yeah, I said all of that.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Any comments? No? Okay, now we go with Stephanie.
Man, hear you guys talk about all your social lives. I'm like, I'm kind of glad that I don't have much of one, so it's not much of a sacrifice to be like, oh, hey, it's not going to be a concern for me. For me, I think my biggest issue is the fact that I have a full-time job and I intend to keep it during the program, which we'll see how crazy I get midway through the semester, the first semester. We'll see how that goes. Um, what I'm mostly concerned about, and this is like what Jessica was talking about, I do have a procrastination issue as well. I wait until the very last minute to do things, but I do get it done. I do get a decent grade. So like work-wise and school-wise, I'm okay. Socially, it's gonna be dead anyways. Meh. I think the one thing that you guys are gonna be like crazy about, but I think it's that like I've already accepted the fact that I'm okay with getting a B in the class if that's what it comes to make sure that I keep my mental health sane. So I'm totally fine with getting a B in the class so long as I pass the class, so long as I get my radiology degree. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there are people that do complete the course with a full-time job. There are others that have 3 kids and they complete the program. So it is not impossible. It's definitely going to be hard. And like you said, I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to, or at the end of the program, I should say, it's going to be pass or no pass. Like it doesn't really matter what grade you get, as long as you get all the requirements for the degree, for graduation. That's all that matters. I don't know how good of an advice it is, but I always use the aim for the moon, and even if you miss, you fell among the stars. Like I will try to get an A, but I was always around the B minus area. But yeah, I like that.
I had a comment for Stephanie that you can do it, girl. I know Professor Steele said you can do it. Okay, I know I can't do it, but if you're used to a full-time job and you know your limits,
Yeah.
like you can do it. Like Professor Steele said, there were some students who like gave birth during the program. Like they had like babies during the program. That's freaking crazy, but they still did it. And I have faith we can all do it. Like I know life is crazy, but we can all do it. And I remember hearing that like they would rather have a great tech with like mediocre grades than an A+ student who isn't like a great tech clinical wise or like in the field. So I totally agree with B student. You know, I was all about C's get degrees totally, but you know, I'll aim a little higher than a C, but you got it.
Yeah, definitely. And if we make it a priority, like I know procrastination is a huge problem, but I think it's also a little easy to fix once you recognize that you do it. So maybe just once the semester start, try to work on that. But yeah, like Jessica said, I think you'll be fine. I think we are all going to be fine. We'll make it.
And
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing the finish line with you guys. It's gonna
Oh,
be great.
definitely. Yes, this group is gonna be walking through that line together.
Just a warning, I might get crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I get crazy when I'm stressed. So.
No, it's fine. I'll see you at the end with the champagne, just freaking getting it on everyone.
Might need a little thing harder than champagne, maybe some vodka or something. Yeah.
Whiskey all
Let's
the
get
way.
some
Whiskey.
tequila, some mezcal. I'm down. All right, I think that's it for this week's discussion. It was a pleasure.